Most of the organization and banks are going to provide e-payment system or online transaction methods. Once you entered all your personal details about the payment, and it is going to verified by the payment gateway. It is mainly based on the applications like file transfer protocol and telecommunication network service. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session. I am Revati, Faculty, Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, First Grade College, MYSURU. We are on the 14th session of Introduction to Computer Network. In my today's session, I am going to deal with cyber law. Before going to start, what is cyber law? Let me to recall the things what I discussed in my last session. In my last session, I discussed the types of e-commerce. In that, we studied business to business, business to consumer, consumer to business, and consumer to consumer. At the same time, we discussed the advantages and disadvantages of e-commerce. But in today's class, I'm going to discuss cyber law. So what is cyber law? The cyber law is also called internet law, because in order to control criminals, that means cyber criminals, or cyber criminal activities like identity theft or data theft or virus or any other kind of attack, we need cyber law. That means to provide the protection for the user, we require cyber law. So, we need to provide the security for information as well as data. So, here the cyber law is a part of legal law. So, here the cyber law is also called internet law. So, a cyber law is an area of the law that deals with the internet relationship to technological and electrical elements, including computer, software, hardware, and information system. That means it is a law and it is a part of legal law, and it is mainly going to focus on all the online transaction, that is internet relationship to technological as well as electronical elements like computer, software, hardware, and information system. So here a cyber law is mainly used to prevent and reduce large scale damages from cyber criminals activities. That means in order to control the cyber criminal activity, we require cyber law. That means in order to prevent and in order to reduce the large number of damages from cyber criminals, we required cyber law. So what the cyber criminals are going to do here is, the cyber criminals are going to hack your identity, or they are going to hack your personal data, or they are going to hack your company's details. The main aim of the cyber criminals is to gain the financial benefit. So, in order to prevent those kind of activity, we required cyber law. It is a part of legal law. So, to provide the protection of information, access, privacy, and communication, intellectual properties like your copyright or authorship. These are some of the example for intellectual property and freedom of speech related to the use of internet or website, emails, computers, telephones, software or hardware. We required cyber law. That means So here the cyber laws are mainly created to protect online organization as well as the network user from the unauthorized access of data as well as malicious code. So the cyber law is a area of law that mainly deals with the internet's relationship to technological as well as electrical elements like computer, software, hardware and information system. So here the increase in network, that is internet traffic, has led to higher portion of legal issue in the world. So there is a tremendous increase in the internet traffic. So because of that, we can able to face more legal issues in World Wide Web. So the cyber law is also called internet law. That means it is mainly designed to control internet activities. So it is also called internet law. So here the cyber law, it is mainly used to prevent and control from other cyber criminal activities. Moving further, we are going to have e-payment. So what is e-payment? This is a way used to transfer the funds electronically. So an electronic payment can be simply defined as paying for goods and services on the internet. That means through online or through the net, we are going to transfer the money or we are going to send the money through online. So e-payment is nothing but the electronic payment that is mainly used to paying for goods and services on the internet. It also includes financial operations using electronic devices such as computers, smartphones and tablets. That means we can capable to use e-payment operation processing in the areas like computers, smartphones and tablets. That means that includes all financial operations using electronic device such as computers, smartphones and tablets. So here e-payment comes with various methods. That means here the e-payment provides various methods like credit card, debit card and online transaction, that is net transactions. So here the e-payment provides more security for online transaction. That means here we are going to use e-payment gateway and it provides more security for online transaction compared to your traditional payment method. So here e-payments are considered as fast and secure alternative to the traditional payment methods such as bank transfer and check transfer. So here the e-payments are highly effective from international transaction. That means so it is highly effective and more secure for international transactions, and it is most commonly used e-payment system and it is generally cheaper, fast and easier payment method compared to your offline, that is traditional method. So for these reasons, most of the organization and banks are going to provide e-payment system or online transaction methods. So here the basic process of e-payment system, that means what are the procedures or process are required for e-payment system. So here the first one, customer action. The process begins when a customer visits merchant site. That means the e-payment process is going to begin when the customer is going to visit merchant site or it is business firm's website and adds the cart items they want to buy. That means, suppose in Amazon, you selected some item and you added that item to the cart. Then think that it is a basic initiation of e-payment system. So, depending on the payment method, the customer is either redirected to external service or bank website, or continue the payment on the website or app. So here, depending on the payment method, the customer is going to select the e-payment system is going to redirect it to the external or bank website, or continue the payment on website or the app. That means here the external service may be you can capable to pay the amount through bank websites or through some phone pay or Google Pay app. So you can further capable to continue the payment procedure. Depending on the payment method, the customer is going to select either it is redirected to the external service or bank website, or continue the payment on the website or app. Moving further, we are going to have payment authentication by the operator. So, the payment gateway checks whether the payment information is valid. That means once you entered all the details, then the responsibility of the payment gateway is to check whatever the payment information is entered, is it valid or not. So, if yes, the process continues. That means whatever the information you provided, if it is correct, then the process continues. Else, the payment gateway reports back the successful transaction. That means whatever the information you're going to provide, if the process continues and the payment gateway report back the successful transaction. That means once you entered all your personal details about the payment, and it is going to verified by the payment gateway. If all the entered details are correct, then it is going to process continuous and the payment gateway reports back to the successful transaction. That means you're going to get the message that whatever the transaction is carried out, that is successful. The next point we are going to have, that is payment of the seller's account. An online payment provider receives a payment from a customer's bank and transfers it into the merchant bank. So in the e-payment, an online payment provider is going to receive the payment from the customer, that is the end user bank, and it's going to transfer it to the merchant bank. So here merchant bank is nothing but the organization's bank. That means each organization, they are going to hold their own bank accounts. Moving further, how to provide the security. So here the protection methods, that means how to provide the security for e-payment. So the first protection method is authorization. That means the authorization is performed by asking user a legal ID. So whatever the transaction we are going to perform, before that we want to provide the authorization. So that is carried out by providing the legal login ID. If the user is able to provide the legal login ID, he or she considered as authorized user. Then we are going to have authentication. Authentication is also termed as password protection, as the authorized user is asked to provide the valid password. If she or he is able to do this, he or she is considered as authentic user. That means the authentication is achieved through the password. So while login, you want to provide the correct username as well as password. Once it is verified, if you are the authenticated user, then you can able to proceed further. Then encryption smart card, that means decode your smart card details. So conversion of the form of data from one form to another. That means during e-payment, what are the information you're going to provide that must be encrypted in order to provide the security. So an encrypted smart card is a handheld smart card and that can generate a token that the system can capable to recognize and understand. So here an encrypted smart card is a handheld smart card and that is generated a token and that is recognized by the computer system. Every time a new and different token is generated, which is even through cracked or hacked, cannot be used later. That means, suppose if you are using encryption smart card, that is encrypted smart card, the encrypted smart card is going to generate tokens. So each time when you're going to use encrypted smart card, then each time you're going to get new tokens. So which can be cracked. Suppose the hacker is cracked that token or hacked that token, but that cannot be used later. So the another security aspect here is biometric system. That means you can capable to provide the security based on the biometric system. So it involves unique aspects of a person's body such as fingerprints or retinal patterns, etc. in order to identify his or her identity. That means to provide more security, you can use the help of biometric system. That means you can capable to take the help of biometric system. Suppose if we are using biometric system, then it involves unique aspects of bodies such as fingerprints or retinal patterns, etc. in order to identify. Moving further, we are going to have firewall. So a system is designed to prevent unauthorized access to or from a private network is called firewall. So here firewall is nothing but a protocol, or it is a set of rules mainly used by a system designed to prevent unauthorized access to the private network. That means the firewalls are set in order to prevent the unauthorized access to or from a private network. So a firewall plays very important role in security. So here it can be implemented in both hardware and software or combination of both. That means suppose if you want to implement firewall, then it's possible to implement it as hardware or software, or we can able to club hardware and software together. So here firewall is mainly used to design, prevent unauthorized access to or from a private network. Let's see the different types of firewall techniques. In that we are going to have packet filter. So it accepts or rejects of packets based on the user defined rules. That means in packet filter, it is going to accept the packet or it is going to reject the packet, and it is mainly based on the user defined rule. So the another type of firewall technique here is application gateway. So it is mainly based on the applications like file transfer protocol and telecommunication network service. Then we are going to have circuit level gateway. So it applies security mechanism when a connection is established. That means during the connection establishment, the circuit level gateway securities are applied. And at the last, we are going to have proxy server. So intercepts all messages entering and leaving the network. That means it is a proxy server. It is going to intercept all the incoming message, that is entering message and outgoing message in the network. So these are the 4 different types of firewall technique. So dear student, in my today's session, we discussed what is cyber law. Along with that, we discussed e-payment system. So here e-payment system is a most commonly and most frequently used online payment system. It provides security and it provides confidentiality. So in my next class, I'm going to deal with legal and ethical issue in e-commerce. I repeat, in my next class, I'm going to deal with legal and ethical issues in e-commerce. So thank you for watching my session. Let's meet in the next session. Until then, take care. Thank you.